The Secret Diary of Cameron Baum. Mexico, Day 7. Andre Cordoba. This is the name of the skilled forger who created our passports and ID documents. John finds his name and address among papers in Miquel's RV. He lives in Guadalajara. If Mia is to accompany us to the United States, she requires good quality fake documents. We need to pay him a visit. Guadalajara, a city of 1.5 million people, the second largest in Mexico and the 10th largest on the American continent. I recite these facts until Sarah Connor tells me to put a sock in it. This means she wants me to shut up. It does not mean she wants me to insert an actual sock into an appropriate orifice. No, I will not be making that mistake twice. This is it, John announces, checking a road map with the papers that have Andre Cordoba's address written on them. That building there, apartment 3B, pretty nice neighborhood, all things considered. It should be since he's banked 90 grand of our money. John, stay here with Mia. You come with me. Sarah Connor and I walk up to the apartment building. Beside the door are buttons and a list of names corresponding to the occupants. There is no name beside apartment 3B, nevertheless, she presses the button. Say, a male voice through the tiny metal grill. Senator Andre Cordoba. Who wants to know? We're friends of Miquel Norgera. We'd like to speak to you regarding a business matter. I know no one by that name. You are Andre Cordoba. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Please leave me alone. Sarah Connor turns to me. Is he lying? The stress levels in his voice became progressively higher. Analysis indicates several were half-truths at most. You could just say, yes, he's lying. Yes, he's lying. Open the door. I push the door. The lock resists for a nanosecond, then breaks. The door swings open. Sarah Connor draws her gun. Remember, whatever happens, we need him alive. I'm not carrying a weapon. You are a weapon. This sounds suspiciously like a compliment. We take the stairs. The door to 3B is easily located. Sarah Connor raps on the wooden frame. Senator Cordoba, it's Miquel's friends. We spoke just now. If you could just spare us a moment. Go away, a muffled voice from within. Stop harassing me. I've called the police. They'll be here any minute. Sarah Connor looks at me. I shake my head. More lies. You're bluffing, Senator Cordoba. Someone in your line of work wouldn't want to attract the attention of the police. No reply. Silence from within. Open the door. Again I push. Again the resistance is minimal. 2 deadbolts and a small metal chain part company with the doorframe. In a wide hallway, a man stares back at us, his mouth a perfect O of surprise. He is short, in late middle age and wearing cord pants and an untucked white shirt. He takes a step backwards as we enter his apartment. Please, I have very little money. What I have is yours. Sarah Connor picks up some mail lying on a side table. These are all addressed to an Andre Cordoba. Let's cut the bullshit. That's you, isn't it? A reluctant nod. A few days ago, you did some work for Miquel Norgera, including this passport and 2 others like it. She shows him her passport. You are not the police. Far from it. Very well. This is my work, I admit it. Is there something wrong? No, we just need another like it for a little girl, and we need it today. Today, impossible. These things take time, procedures need to be followed, they cannot be rushed. Maybe this will change your mind. Show him the case. I place Antonio's attaché case on the side eatable and pop the clasps. Andre Cordoba's eyes widen as he sees the money. The fear in his eyes fades, is replaced by greed. It is an all too familiar human reaction. That's around $90,000. Used bills, untraceable. Yours if you do as we ask. Just the passport. And identification papers, permits, birth certificate, a whole new identity. I'll need birth dates, physical description, and a photograph of the subject. I can do better than that. She flips open her cell phone. John, bring Mia upstairs. Yes, everything's fine. What? She frowns. Why can't the dog stay in the car? All right, let him come up too. Poor Snowy. He doesn't like to be left out. He will probably want his photo taken as well. He's very vain. John, Mia, and Snowy join us upstairs. Andre Cordoba takes several digital photographs of Mia, then enters his study where he will prepare the fake documents. John leads Mia to the lounge and switches on the TV. He finds a channel showing cartoons, and Mia settles down to watch Kim Possible, an American teenage girl who uses her skills and ingenuity to save the world. Remind you of anyone? Yes, indeed. She is just like me, only with pointier boobs and an unfeasibly narrow waist. How did she get such a narrow waist? I suspect purging and diuretics. Andre Cordoba works all the afternoon. John watches him work, partly to ensure he doesn't run out on us, and partly because there is little else to do. The study has several state-of-the-art printers and a high-end computer on which Senator Cordoba inputs Mia's new bogus identity. What is the girl's blood group? John shrugs. I'm afraid I don't know. I'll put Group O, it's the most common. The odds are in her favor. How did you come to be in this line of work, Senator Cordoba? 10 years ago, I worked at a printing factory that did work for the government, various official documents and the like. I had a wife and 3 young daughters. Money was tight. We lived in a 2-room apartment in Mexico City. I worried constantly how I would pay the bills. Then one day a man I never met before paid me a visit. Mickwell. Yes, he seemed to know a lot about me and was sympathetic to my plight. He asked me to acquire some special paper, the kind used to print passports. He offered to pay me the equivalent of 3 months' salary if I did so. It was an offer I found difficult to refuse. Soon I was supplying him with paper, ink, and the correct stamps to forge official documents. I was able to advise on the various techniques needed in the printing process. In time, I decided to freelance. It is, how do you say, most lucrative. Many people wish to be other than who they really are. And highly illegal. A shrug. I do not consider myself a saint, just a hardworking man trying to provide for my family. If God disapproves, I'm sure I shall find out in the fullness of time. He crosses himself, as we all will. You mentioned a wife and 3 daughters. Are you expecting them here? No, my wife and I are divorced. She lives on the coast. I see my girls twice a month. It is not ideal, but... Another shrug. At least now I can afford to put them through college and help them afford apartments of their own. Doesn't your wife wonder where you get the money to afford a place like this and pay college fees? As long as her alimony checks arrive, she doesn't much care where I am or what I do, or where the money comes from. I'm sorry. A thin smile. Such is life. It is dark outside when the documents are finally ready. Mia has fallen asleep on the couch. John carries her down to the car, Snowy trotting faithfully at his heels. Sarah Connor examines Andre Cordoba's handiwork. These will pass a customs inspection. Of course, I would prefer to let the ink cure a few days, but you were most insistent it should be done today. Just ensure the girl is wearing a different dress to the one in the photo. That might seem suspicious. The case containing the money changes hands. Andre Cordoba opens it and takes out a bundle of notes. He holds it close to his face and sniffs it as if not quite believing it is real. That's drug money, Sarah Connor informs him. If you try and double-cross us or alert the authorities in any way, one phone call and some very bad people will come looking for it. You need have no worries. In my line of work, a certain discretion comes as standard. I'm pleased to hear it. Goodbye, Senator Cordoba. One last thing. Will I be seeing Mickwell again? Sarah Connor averts her eyes. I'm afraid not. I thought as much. That's too bad. I have much to thank him for, and I became rather fond of him for all his flaws. Yeah, I know the feeling. It is close to midnight by the time we reach Guadalajara Airport. We wait in the departure lounge while Sarah Connor checks the terminal desks and decides which flight to catch. There's a flight leaving for San Diego in 30 minutes, she announces. I've booked seats for the 2 of us. We'll check into a hotel and wait for you there. Mia has to be woken up to board the plane. Predictably, she is upset about leaving Snowy behind. I want to go with Snowy. John squats down until his face is level with Mia's. I explained this earlier, he says in a kind yet firm voice. The plan won't work if you come with us. You'll see Snowy very soon. You promise? Absolutely. Now go with Mom. You've never been on an airplane before, have you? No. Well then, it'll be an adventure you can tell Snowy all about in a few days. We stay in the terminal and watch as they board their flight. There are no problems with the documents. Andre Cordoba has done his work well. Once they pass from sight, John says, better get going. It's a long drive to Cancun. Think we can pass as spring breakers. Dude, I am totally on it. Did you just call me dude? It seemed appropriate. Mexico Day 10. Do it, do it, do it. The words flow together, becoming first an exhortation, then a demand. Doit it, doit, 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 doit. Soon even the syllables become indistinguishable from each other, cascading together, becoming a chant, an ululation carried on the sultry night breeze. I am on the beach in Cancun, a Mexican vacation resort. There are a dozen or more teenagers surrounding me, students here on spring break. A bonfire lights the scene. Strange as it may seem, this is all part of John's plan to get myself and Snowy across the border without alerting the authorities. Do it, doit, doit. Louder and more insistent, they will not be denied. John and I are posing as college students, part of the crowd. Our story is that our car and money were stolen when we arrived, and we require a ride back across the border. One couple in particular have been sympathetic to our fictitious plight, Troy and Condi, two history majors from San Diego University. Condi is in front of me now. She has just lost a bet and must now pay an arbitrary forfeit. The forfeit is to kiss me on the lips for 1 full minute. Condi is very drunk, as are many of the other teenagers, as indeed would I be if the alcohol I have imbibed had the least effect on me. Sorry, Cam, here goes nothing. Condi's flushed face descends on mine. I feel her lips press against my own. A ragged cheer goes up from the onlookers. I feel her tongue probe, then part my lips, inserting itself in my mouth. I could easily bite down and sever it in two, but I don't. It is not part of the plan. My sensors can't help but analyze Condi's saliva. Alcohol is red flagged in my HUD as approaching near toxic levels. It is a wonder Condi is still standing, let alone able to snog me with such fervor. Finally, the minute elapses. Another cheer goes up. Condi separates herself from my lips, a sloppy grin on her face. She is an attractive girl with blonde hair and a curvaceous body barely contained by the sarong she is wearing. Is this the reason John chose her and Troy as our marks? I tell myself it is just coincidence. Still, I will be glad when the plan has succeeded and we part company. The games continue. Another boy loses his bet and has to pay a forfeit, skin-a-dip in the ocean. He is so intoxicated he barely knows where the ocean is and staggers forlornly around the beach, his tan lines vivid and obvious in the glow of the bonfire. Then someone yells, "Hey, let's all skin-a-dip." This suggestion is met with a chorus of whooping and hollering. Suddenly, the beach is alive with teenagers sprinting for the waves, removing their clothes as they run. Soon only John and I remain by the bonfire. Even Condi has managed to stagger towards the waves. What do we do? I ask. He shrugs. When in Rome. We're not in Rome, I point out. When in Cancun. He takes my hand, and together we jog towards the ocean, shedding our clothes as we go. Mexico Day 11. So the cops still have no idea who stole your car? Nope. Investigation is ongoing, I was told. Probably in a Mexico City chop shop by now. John's lies are accepted at face value by Troy, Condi's boyfriend. He is at the wheel of his own vehicle, a silver BMW he likes to refer to as a Beamer. We are several hours out of Cancun, fast approaching the border. Snowy is in the trunk, safe within a specially prepared suitcase. It has been made clear to him that he must not bark until we are safely in America. Is he up to the task? I believe so. What kind of car did you say it was? Porsche 911, graduation present. Sweet, hope you were insured. Yeah, no worries there. It's just the principle of the thing, you know. We came here for a good time and this happens, plus losing all our money. I really didn't want to call my folks back home for help. They were kinda set against this whole spring break thing from the off. Sure is good of you to give us a ride back. I hear you, man. My folks are just the same. Freaking Republicans. Never lived a day in their lives. Hope they catch the scumbags who ripped you off. I am seated on the back seat next to Condi, who is slumped down with a large pair of sunglasses over her eyes. These are not to protect her from the sun. Instead, they mask her bloodshot eyes from onlookers. The near-toxic level of alcohol she consumed yesterday has taken a physical toll. You okay back there, babe? Troy inquires. Fine, if people would stop shouting. No one's shouting, hun. Still shouting. Condi winces and holds her head. It's because you're hungover. I'm never drinking again. You said that last time. I mean it. You said that too. Pig. She can get kinda crabby when she's hungover, Troy explains. Condi says, stop the car, I'm gonna barf. Can't stop, babe. Traffic. Then pop a window. I'm definitely gonna barf. The rear window winds down. Condi thrusts her upper body through. There is the sound of retching. She slumps back in her seat, staring balefully at me. How come you're so perky? You drank just as much as me. I make no reply. The alcohol I consumed resides in a sealed container deep within my sternum, unaltered from the moment it was poured. I have no bloodstream to absorb it, no kidneys to filter it, and no bladder to expel it. I am a walking cocktail shaker. Guess Cameron knows her limits, Troy suggests. Oh, and I don't. You were pretty wasted. I didn't do anything stupid, did I? You mean like smooch Cameron? Yuh, that was way hot. It was a forfeit, I explain. You had no choice. Oh God, not tongues. I confirm tongues were involved. But nothing else. Troy says, you mean apart from the mass skinadip afterwards? Oh God, no wonder I couldn't find my panties this morning. Please tell me no one had a video camera. No one had a video camera, I assure her. I made sure of that. See, at least Cameron had her head screwed on. Actually, it's welded on, I correct. This is a very funny joke, apparently. Who knew? We approach the border crossing, joining a small queue of traffic waiting to cross into America. Troy says, everyone got their passport. Sure thing, John says, handing Troy his and mine. Great, this'll be a breeze, trust me. I've done this 1,000 times. Twice, Condi says. We've been to Cancun twice, Mr. Big Shot. Troy grins sheepishly. We'll be fine, just as long as they don't find the bale of weed I'm smuggling. Silence. Troy bursts out laughing. Kidding, man, the look on your faces. Real funny, John lies, offering a wan smile. A customs official steps forward and takes the passports. He examines them closely, then peers into the vehicle. What's wrong with the girl? He asks, indicating the slumped Condi. Too much tequila, Troy explains. Spring breakers, huh? Yeah, we've had a few of you today. You okay in there, miss? Fine, if everyone would stop shouting. The official returns the passports. Pop the trunk, he orders. He disappears behind the vehicle. Although John seems outwardly calm, I know that inside he is tense. If Snowy should choose this moment to bark or sneeze or do something to reveal his presence, the plan will fail. The trunk is closed. The official waves us onwards. Drive safely now. You go it, amigo. Adios, Mexico. Troy guns the throttle, and we enter America. Troy and Condi drop us off at a park in downtown San Diego. We all make vague promises to stay in touch and hook up at some unspecified future date. We are being insincere. We will never see each other again. Once we are alone, John places the suitcase on a park bench and undoes the clasps. Snowy's head pops out. "You okay, boy?" John inquires, lifting Snowy out and placing him on the ground. Snowy not bark. "You did great. Go and run around and stretch your legs. I'll call Mom and tell her we're here." Mia and Sarah Connor arrive 20 minutes later. Mia is all smiles once she sees Snowy. "Snowy, guess who we saw on the airplane? Salma Hayek. And you're right, she does have big boobies." She giggles. "I said boobies." She and Snowy snigger. The word seems to amuse them greatly. "And we saw a movie where a man ties balloons to his house, and it floats up into the air and he has adventures. That's what we'll do. We tie balloons to ourselves and float up into the sky and have adventures." "Best of luck with that," Sarah Connor smirks. TWP teenagers on rollerblades glide past. Mia stares after them, her eyes wide with wonder. "What are they?" "Rollerblades," John explains. "I want rollerblades." "And fall and break your neck." "I don't think so," Sarah Connor tells her. "I want rollerblades," Mia insists, "and a pair for Snowy." "2 pairs. He has 4 legs," I point out. Don't encourage her. "How about I buy everyone ice creams?" John suggests. Mia allows herself to be placated, though she still looks wistfully after the 2 rollerbladers. John returns with 4 ice creams. He places one on the ground for Snowy. "Didn't you get one for Cameron?" Mia asks. "She's lactose intolerant," John informs her. "What's that mean?" "It means ice cream brings her out in hives." Yua. Yua indeed. As the ice creams are consumed, a boy on a skateboard rolls past. Mia's eyes grow wide with wonder once more. "What's that?" "Skateboard." "I want a skateboard." "A minute ago you wanted rollerblades." "I want rollerblades and a skateboard." "Well, you can't have them. You're too young." "Papa would let me have one." Her chin trembles. "I miss my papa. I want to go home." She bursts into tears. Sarah Connor's jaw tightens and she looks away. John sighs and says, "Wait here." He jogs after the skateboarder. The 2 converse. Money changes hands. John returns with the skateboard under his arm. He hands it to Mia. "Here you are." Really? You want me to show you how to ride it?" "Yeah." John demonstrates the basic technique, and soon Mia is riding it up and down the tarmac paths, not caring who she almost runs into, which is nearly everybody. She needs to learn she can't have everything she sees, Sarah Connor says, folding her arms across her chest. "I know, I just don't like to see her unhappy." "We should get going. We need to get back to LA. "Can't we give them a few minutes?" "John, there are things we need to do." "Isn't this what we're fighting for? So little girls can play in the park in the sunshine with their pet dogs." 5 minutes. John sighs. "Deal."